in the back area of my house, and I am actually sealing these jars. So I hope that you can hear me super well because the mic is just a little bit away from my face, but I am sure that you won't mind. So I thought, look, I'm actually going to do these today anyway, but I thought some of you may actually like to just see the process, see how I actually do them and what I'm using. So inside my containers here, I have a couple little things. So this is one of the containers. So I've already made a mix in this, and that is to seal the inner part of the jar. And then of course I have this product which is called Castmanite, and I buy this in Australia from a company called Barnes, and basically all I'm going to do is seal them. So last night I did seal all the inside of them. So basically I use the brush to do the inside, and then on the outside I'll show you how I actually do that, because I do that a little bit different as well. So hopefully I can show you a little bit about what I do. So in the inside, when you're doing them, I definitely suggest that you do it twice. Now I'm going to show you. So here what I do is I have Castmanite. So I put Castmanite and then I add 20% water as well. So if you add 20% water, it will be more liquid like this, and it is definitely more easy to use. And test them as well, because I actually test some different sealers, and when the candle was burning, I actually seen a brown ring of burning on the inside. So you definitely need to test these, everybody, and make sure they're right. So all you're going to do is just go around the inside, and then I literally just go up on the, on this bit here. You probably only need to dip your brush once, because remember we're doing this twice, and then I just kind of go around the edge simply like that, and then I'm just going to let this dry. So after my process of doing the inside twice, and I only do the outside once, there is a little bit of waiting time. So then I pretty much wait another 5 days for these to seal up. So it is a waiting time. So even once I actually make these jars, I take them out of the mold, then I put them in a water bath, which means I sit them in a water bath and I sand them with water sandpaper that's made to go in water. And then they have to sit for 5 days just to let the water evaporate a little bit. And after the water actually evaporates, then you can do this process and then wait another 5 days. So honestly, it's like probably a 2-week process to make something like this. And the good thing is you don't need to be too stressed to be exact when you're doing this, because like I said, we're sealing it twice just to make sure. You could probably get away with sealing it once, but personally myself, I just prefer to seal it twice, and I've never had any leakages with this product. I've not had anything. There is another product I know, one of my lovely friends from Coconut Coast Candles, she actually sent me a product that she'd actually bought so I could try it out, and it was a great product. This was like, I think it's Earth Seal. It was really good. The only thing that I have to say that I didn't love about it was the smell. I really did not like the smell at all. It smelled like chemical, and I know it's not because it's meant to be all natural, but I really didn't like the smell. It wasn't for me at all. So anyway, that's just something I thought I'd bring into the conversation, because that is super important. And in this back part of my house that you can see, this is just where I have like, my dryer and things like that. And behind me, the boxes and the big white shelves that you can probably see, they're actually going into the shop. And as we speak, my husband is out the back finishing a lot of things off. So far with that, we've actually already done the walls and everything else. So now all he's doing is putting all the security things in, and and the back wall, because we've got like a secret door that's going in the back. And that's just to make it look pretty, so you don't see the ugly shed door in the background, because no one wants to see that. And then we will be onto the front and the pink stuff. So that is super exciting. So I said to him, I've got to do this. Maybe I will also do this for YouTube, because I'm sure people will love to see what I'm doing. So now on this one's already finished. So if I can show you this one, if you can see, so it's got a little gloss. You don't have to do the outside if you don't want to. You definitely don't have to seal the outside, but remember, if you're using Hydrostone or if you're using cement, even Cemental, it's porous, meaning that anything can get onto it. So someone has a glass of wine and they've got a bit of red on their hand, they pick it up, it's going to stain their jar and they will not be impressed. I promise you that. They'll be pretty cranky. So that's one thing that I definitely suggest that you do seal it. So Castmanite have a couple different ones. Hello, good morning, lovely. Yeah, so Castmanite have one that's like a matte, and then they also have one that's a gloss. I think the one I'm using is, well, this is actually gloss, it says. But honestly, it's not super shiny. It's kind of like, it's more like a satin, I would say. So it's not massively shiny, but if you don't want the shiny, go and get the matte one. Definitely worth it. So anyone that's just joined in, I was saying that I always do the inside twice, and I am using 20% water and 80% Castmanite sealant, which in Australia you get it from a company called Barnes. I think Barnes might actually sell overseas as well. I'm not sure, but double check that out as well. And Castmanite is actually a product that is an Australian dupe of Jasmonite. So, yeah, so that's basically what Castmanite is. I don't use it anymore. I tried it at the start. I did like it, but it has much more air bubbles than Hydrostone. And it's a little bit harder to work with. It's longer to undo it as well. So anyway, so that you don't have to watch me do all of them today, because I thought that might be a bit boring for you, I'm going to also show you now how I do the outside, which is a little bit different. So basically inside here, I just pour in some of this, and this has already been watered down to 20%. Like I said, 20 water, and the rest is, you know, the product. So you can see it looks like PVA. It's sort of white. And then what I do is we'll get this out. So I'm just using like a normal kitchen cloth, obviously a brand new clean one. And then I'm going to cut it, and I'll show you why I'm going to cut it. Because if you don't want streak marks on the outside, you need to do like a wash or a, you know, sort of a sweep over the top of it, which is what this is. So you can see this is just, you know, like it's just like a piece of cloth. Cut it whatever size you want. This is just what I'm comfortable with. Then I dip it in here and just kind of, you know, get a little bit of that off. You can do this twice, but this is, like I said, just to kind of seal it. So you can see this is what they'll dry like. And then once you put this on, if you can see straight away, it's going to have that beautiful finish. And then just wipe around the outside. This will stop any marks. So I just kind of hold it like that in my hand. And you don't have to be too fussy. And I only do this once on the outside, because the outside's really just to give it a quick seal. And then I'll turn the jar upside down, and you can see that's kind of what it's going to look like. Do the top as well. And then obviously I'm going to put the warning label and things like that on there. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea. And like I said, then I'm going to sit it upside down on my table. Obviously make sure you've got plastic wrap or something on your table if you don't want it to get stained. So once again, I'm just going to dip it in once, and then we're just going to go around the outside. And doesn't it look beautiful and glossy? And you can see how easy that is. And I've got my label here, so just kind of pat on top of the label as well. Could you use an airbrush? Yeah, you could. Yeah, you probably could. This is a glue, so this is basically, well, it's a sealant, but it's like a glue. So the only thing I would be careful of is not to, you know, like clog up your airbrush machine if you're going to use an airbrush to seal them. But you could try even like a spray bottle on a really light spray. I've not done that at all. And these are the black ones, so I thought I'll show you these, because these really do look quite different. So you can see it looks grey. Once we put this on, you can see straight away, and see how it's white. Don't worry about that, it's going to dry clear. But I just try and make it even all the way round. And yeah, and look, everyone else, I said, they sort of used foam brushes, they used all these brushes. I've tried everything. Honestly, this is the best solution for me. It gives a beautiful finish, not too glossy, but it also seals it. So you can see how beautiful that is. You know, and that obviously it's upside down, but you can see the difference when you seal it from that to that. So that's what you're going to get. So if you want black, you definitely need to seal. And the pigments I use are from a lady that I found on Etsy. I think it's called Aha or Aho. I can't remember, but I'll try and find it, and later on I will put the links in the video for everybody. So, but I hope this kind of helps you just a little bit to understand sealing them. And do make sure that you check, you try not to use ones. This is non-toxic. Also, this is water-based. So it's actually made for this as well. So that's really important. How many do I make at a time? So basically, if I'm making, let's say, for instance, I'm going to make lavender, I'll do maybe 6 lavender jars at once. But I actually only have 3 molds, so then I'll do 3 and then another 3, and then once I've made 6, because it's pretty fast with Hydrostone, it dries much faster than a lot of the other products. So if I'm going to use that, then I'll have the 6, then I will actually water bath them and do them. But generally, like you can see here, I will generally try and do 100 at a time, because you don't have to make 100 candles at a time. You could make these and just set them in your back room on a shelf until you're ready to use them for the candle. And then that way, if someone orders it, you have the jar ready to go and you're not scrambling trying to make it, because as I said, this is a process. It's a long process. You know, this is not a 5-minute process. So don't sell these for $20. I sell these, and these are 200 grams, and I sell these for $40 to give you an idea. So yeah, and then basically at the end, that's what someone's going to get, that. So yeah, so they're definitely going to get that one as well. Yeah, it is a production line, lovely. It definitely is. Yeah, and look, and because this is water-based, adding that 20% water just makes it, you know, kind of slide around the outside. So that's why I add the water. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it is thicker and harder to get that glossier look. So that's the only reason why I'm adding the 20%. It's not going to change anything. Of course, please test this. Don't just take my word, you know, test it for yourself. As anything you do, I mean, honestly, you got to test it, because if your insurance ever pulled you up, you can't say, well, I seen this, someone else do it. They'll just say, well, where's your testing? So, yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? And I know we're all trying just to do our best to, you know, get through life and make some money, aren't we? So, but anyway, like I said, that's basically how I do mine. It's really not that hard. This process is the easy one. The hardest one, honestly, if I'm going to be really honest, I think is sanding it. The sanding's really, really tricky. Very, very tricky. So, but once you get it all, you know, once you get used to this, you'll be so fast. Like, honestly, I'm pretty fast at making these now, but when I started, I was really slow. And I get all my molds from a company called Lee Molds, in case anyone wants to know. And now I am using a really great candle melter that I was gifted from a company. I did a video for them as well. So just check that. It's All Tools. I'll also put their link in the bottom. I'll put the Australian link where you can buy the machine as well. The machine's pretty cheap. It holds 4 litres and it's only like $99 in Australia. So for that melting machine. So, which is great, because I always wanted one of the melters, but I just didn't want to pay $500. I really didn't have that kind of money. So if you're looking for something like that, and I probably will end up getting 2 of them, so then I'll have a couple going all the time, because when I first started, candles weren't the biggest seller for me, but they are a very big seller now. So, you know, and some people want something different, so that's what it is. They just wanted something that's quite different. So anyway, I hope this little video has helped you all today. I won't take up all of your day. Like I said, I was in the back area of my house, which is just the storage area, and I thought, look, I'm just going to show you exactly what I'm doing with all of these, and hopefully it's helped. So make sure you give me a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, friends.